Thanks for checking out my video. If you want to learn more from me, I have a lot of classes on Udemy. You can find the links to a lot of those in the description.
So I don't remember the last time that I recorded a video at night, but here I am. I worked all day, and then my lady's got a healing client that she's working with over the Skype whatnot. So I got some free time. So here I am. So I got an email actually earlier today, and you guys are seeing this much later because I'm front loading videos, as I call it. On like, hey, I want to work with the Simon Necronomicon, but like I've heard people tell me that it can bring up a bunch of stuff, and like, should I be afraid of it? And my response, not word for word, whatever, was basically that, yeah, the book it scares people because of all the notoriety and different stuff about it, of course, with the ties to H.P. Lovecraft, even though it's kind of crap. Because as if you've watched this channel, any of my explanations before, the Simon Necronomicon is Mesopotamian magic. It's got the Maklu text in there, although, changed around a little bit. It's got the Descent of Inanna in there. It's got the Enuma Elish in there. The 50 Names of Marduk are based around the Enuma Elish. If you want a more accurate kind of thing of the Enuma Elish and what the powers of Marduk are according to the tablets and stuff, you can check out my book, The Powers of Marduk, which just came out at the end of last year. Wow, I made another book. Awesome. Go me. Anyways, so should you be afraid of working with the Simon Necronomicon? Yes and no. Okay. And this is not in any way, shape, or form telling anybody, don't pick up the book, blah, 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 blah. The book is a puzzle. The book challenges you. The book makes you work for it. You can't just pick it up, read stuff, and do stuff. And I mean, if you do, then hopefully you have a bunch of experience under your belt with, casting circles and, understanding what rituals feel like, what rituals do, and how magic works in itself. And if you are up and up on your meditation and how to cast circles and how to invoke and different stuff like that, then yeah, go ahead and start with the Simon Necronomicon. But what you have to be prepared for is that when you work with the book, if you're doing any of the 50 Names of Marduk stuff for improving yourself or any situation that you have, anytime that you go into a state of mind of improving different things, it's not all hunky dory, love and light, positivity, manifestation, law of attraction, blah, 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 everything's positive, blah, blah, blah. No, because anything that you do to work on yourself and anything that you do to improve yourself requires that you face the negative stuff. If I wanted to clean this basement, it's not, ooh, hey, everything's clean now. I got to go through that closet and I got to get all the junk out of there. I got to see what my cat is messing with under this pool table because there's a bunch of junk under there, right? I got to clear out the junk. When I'm working on myself and I'm trying to improve different things, like, okay, let's go through my little roster of things I've dealt with in the past: social anxiety, depression, substance abuse, and lackadaisicalness, procrastination, lack of work ethic, lack of self-esteem, different things like that. I had to face all those negative things, didn't I? I didn't just turn around one day and all of a sudden I was confident. I didn't just turn around one day and all of a sudden I felt like getting up and doing things every single day. I had to push myself. I had to work at myself. I had to understand what my triggers were, what my fears were, what my anxieties were, where my different anger from different things came from. I had to face all that stuff. And when you're working with the gate walking, especially, that is what you will face: the negativity and any of the bad things that you do that makes your life suck. Because anything that you want to improve on, you would be improving on already, but we are feeding into the reality that we have, which is anything negative in your life, you're feeding it. It is serving a purpose right now, otherwise it wouldn't be here. You are manifesting it, otherwise it wouldn't be here. So when you're working with the book, oh, big tangent and stuff. Pix, can you get out from under the table, please? I don't know. Hopefully you guys can't hear that. Hopefully it's not too distracting, because there's no way I'm digging down there and I'm not pausing this video to go get her. But when you start working with the book, or any magical system for that matter, when you start working and casting circles and in doing invocations, even if god and goddess and stuff, and you're doing candle spells or what have you, the most simple basic things, it's the same thing as it's the middle of summer, it's hot outside, the mosquitoes are everywhere, and you turn on a light outside. What's going to happen? The bugs are going to go towards the light. when you start working with that magical energy and it's starting to move around you and you're starting to manipulate it, then it's becoming more prominent. It's becoming more used. It's like when you start going to the gym, you get muscle, right? You can see that. Okay. So, that being the case, different things called the gula and the alu and the gadim and other spirits, they come to feed on that energy because they're attracted to it. They want to know what's up, and energetic beings feed on energy. And when those things show up, then you will either have like maybe one of two responses, right? One, what the hell is that? Oh my god, I'm afraid. Or two, oh, that's what that is. I'm confident. I know how to cast circles. I know how to banish. And I know that any of this stuff I'm not afraid of because I live in the physical reality of 4D, length, width, height, and time. And those things are from a different kind of plane, and they can only interact with me to a certain level before my fear lets them in and it screws me up. So if you're confident about that kind of thing and you know that you are not going to be touched by this stuff, and that if something goes bump in the night, you can banish it, you can deal with it, then you're fine. But if that kind of thing scares you, where like, man, if I start reading this book and I start to have weird dreams and things go bump in the night and da 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 da, I'm gonna crap my pants. Then pause and work on the confidence, work on protection and different stuff like that, because that is what is going to set you up and give you a good grounding. And she just zoomed out of the room. I love it when cats have zoomies. It's going to give you a good foundation to stand on, that when you start working with the book and you start doing your circle casting and you invoke the spirits of the north, south, east, west, da da da, and you invoke a name of Marduk and what have you, and you start to feel something like that elevator stuffiness or stuff goes bump in the night, you know that that's Alu and Gadim and what have you passing by because they're sniffing around for that energy you raised up. And hey, banish it, whatever. It's gone now. You're safe, right? You got to get to that point where you're confident in yourself to where nothing is going to phase you. And this doesn't even just apply to magic or working with the Simon Necronomicon in itself. You got to get to the point in life that nothing is going to scare you, because anything that you're doing that's new is scary. Getting on rollerblades is scary for the first time. Getting on a bike without training wheels is scary. Getting behind the wheel of a car for the first time when you're learning how to drive, that's scary. Going into a new job might be, exhilarating and exciting, but it also is scary because it's new territory. Anytime you're going into something new, it's a little spooky because you are not comfortable with it. You're not, oh, I've been doing this for forever and I know exactly how to deal with every kind of thing that happens. You have to have the confidence that whenever something comes up, you're going to be able to deal with it because you have the tools. And we all do have the tools. Sometimes our tools, such as confidence and being able to banish things and what have you, are stuffed down below the fear and the, oh God, what if? And the, I'm not good enough. And this is new and I'm spooked. Work on that crap and dig out your confidence and whatnot. So if you are wanting to start with the book, pick it up and read it. Pick it up and read it when it's light out and all the lights are on and you're, with someone else. Fine. Do it when it's comfortable. Start treating it like a research project, like you're back in high school and you have to annotate a book and you have to go through and start digesting it. Read it cover to cover a couple of times, and you'll start to feel the book kind of pull you in, and you'll start to feel it, resonate with different things, and it'll bring up questions, and it's a giant rabbit hole. And when you get to the point where you're starting to understand different things, the more familiar you're going to be with the book, the more familiar we are with anything, the less scary it becomes. Then oh, these are the kind of spirits that I'm dealing with. This is what it feels like when I do the Necronomicon ritual and I follow the stuff in the Book of Calling and I create my temple. This is what it feels like when I'm doing an invocation of one of the names of Marduk. This is what it feels like to do a gate walk. And guess what? Here I am, and it's still good. For the record, I have never had a single negative experience with the Simon Necronomicon. That does not mean that I didn't have to face any of my inner demons, let's say. Because when I did the gate walking, a whole bunch of crap came up, both the first time and the second time. But the point is that I'm still here and I had the tools to deal with it. I had years of ritualistic experience before that, specifically like 5 years of working magic almost day in and day out and reading tons of books that you can see behind me that had to do with, ritual practice, paganism, Wicca, blah, 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 blah. And so I had a lot of different tools and stuff under my belt. And because I lean heavily on psychology and stuff, that kind of, kept away the spooks and the fears and whatnot. But of course, what model everybody follows is different. So ultimately, the book isn't scary. Your own fear of the book is what's going to scare you, and it's what's going to screw you up. So work with it, and it will work with you. But you gotta have an open mind. You gotta be open to its energies, and you gotta work with it and roll with the punches. Let me know what you guys think about this and if this helped you, whether you are someone new looking at the book or someone who has worked the book, and let me know the different things you agree with or might not agree with. Good hunting.
Thanks for checking out my video. If you want to learn more from me, you can check the description where I've got my link tree that can lead you to all of my books, my classes, my website, and a whole bunch more information if you want to take a deep dive into magic. If you want to learn with me, you can take my classes. We could do one-on-one mentoring. I'm also going to be doing live classes. If you want magic for hire, I've got that down there too with my Etsy shop. So check that out and let's get connected.